Monsieur, directeur général d'Organisation internationale, Monsieur le secrétaire général, Madame la présidente de la Commission européenne, Monsieur le vice-président, Monsieur le vice-premier ministre, Mesdames et Messieurs, en vos grades et qualités, chers amis, juste un mot pour vous dire combien nous sommes heureux de vous accueillir ici. Alors, hier, beaucoup d'entre vous ont pu toute la journée échanger dans ce grand palais que nous venons de restaurer et qui a été créé pour l'exposition universelle de 1900 et était en quelque sorte cette France confiante dans le progrès, la science et cette aventure extraordinaire. Et nous nous retrouvons ici, et c'est la première fois d'ailleurs qu'est réouvert aux yeux du monde ce petit pavillon dit d'Antin, ce palais qui a été fait pour l'exposition universelle de 1937. Sous l'impulsion d'un prix Nobel de chimie, M. Perrin, de l'époque, et qui avait cette conviction qu'en montrant la science aux Françaises, aux Français et au monde, on arriverait véritablement à convaincre d'embrasser cette histoire de progrès et à réussir à avoir une science au service de l'humanité. Et je crois que c'est exactement le défi qui est le nôtre avec l'intelligence artificielle. C'est-à-dire embrasser des transformations technologiques formidables, réussir à maîtriser par des capacités de calcul nouvelles, des avancées profondes, ce qu'est l'intelligence artificielle et ses implications dans beaucoup de secteurs, et le faire au service de notre humanité, dans un monde qui est bousculé par de plus en plus de crises, mais par un dialogue ouvert. Et la grande chance d'avoir aujourd'hui à la fois l'Inde, les États-Unis d'Amérique, la Chine, l'Europe, le continent africain, le continent latino-américain, d'avoir des chefs d'État, de gouvernement, des chercheurs, de la société civile, des entrepreneuses et des entrepreneurs, des investisseurs, c'est la possibilité d'avoir ce dialogue et d'essayer de suivre ce chemin et de comprendre cette science et de la mettre au service du progrès collectif. Je ne serai pas plus long, je suis très heureux de vous accueillir ici pour ce sommet qui est coprésidé avec mon ami le Premier ministre Narendra Modi. Et donc, Monsieur le Premier ministre, cher Narendra, je vais surtout vous céder la parole pour qu'on puisse vous entendre et entendre ce que l'Inde a à dire au monde sur l'intelligence artificielle. Merci à toutes et tous d'être là.
Friends, let me begin with a simple experiment. If you upload your medical report to an AI app, it can explain in simple language, free of any jargon, what it means for your health. But if you ask the same app to draw an image of someone writing with their left hand, the app will most likely draw someone writing with the right hand. Because that is what the training data is dominated by. It shows that while the positive potential of AI is absolutely amazing, there are many biases that we need to think carefully about. That is why I am grateful to my friend, President Macron, for hosting this summit and for inviting me to co-chair it. Friends, AI is already reshaping our polity, our economy, our security, and even our society. AI is writing the code for humanity. AI is writing the code for humanity in this century. But it is very different from other technology milestones in human history. AI is developing at an unprecedented scale and speed, and being adapted and deployed even faster. There is also a deep interdependence across borders. Therefore, there is a need for collective global efforts to establish governance and standards that uphold our shared values, address risks, and build trust. But governance is not just about managing risks and rivalries. It is also about promoting innovation and deploying it for the global good. So, we must think deeply and discuss openly about innovation and governance. Governance is also about ensuring access to all, especially in the global south. It is where the capabilities are most lacking, be it compute, power, talent, data, or the financial resources. Friends, AI can help transform millions of lives by improving health, education, agriculture, and so much more. It can help create a world in which the journey to sustainable development goals becomes easier and faster. To do this, we must pull together resources and talent. We must develop open source systems that enhance trust and transparency. We must build quality data sets free from biases. We must democratize technology and create people-centric applications. We must address concerns related to cybersecurity, disinformation, and deepfakes. And we must also ensure that technology is rooted in local ecosystems for it to be effective and useful. Friend, loss of jobs is AI's most feared disruption. But history has shown that work does not disappear due to technology. Its nature changes and new types of jobs are created. We need to invest in skilling and reskilling our people for an AI-driven future. Friends, There is no doubt that the high energy intensity of AI needs to be looked into. This will require green power to fuel its future. India and France have worked together for years through initiatives like the International Solar Alliance to harness the power of the sun. As we advance our partnership to AI, it is a natural progression from sustainability to innovation to shape a smarter and responsible future. At the same time, sustainable AI does not only mean using clean energy. AI models must also be efficient and sustainable in size, data needs, and resources requirements. After all, the human brain manages to compose poetry and design spaceships using less power than most light bulbs. Friends, India has successfully built a digital public infrastructure for over 1.4 billion people at a very low cost. It is built around an open and accessible network. It has regulations and a wide range of applications to modernize our economy, reform governance, and transform the lives of our people. We have unlocked the power of data through our data empowerment and protection architecture. And we have made digital commerce democratic and accessible to all. This vision is the foundation of India's national AI mission. That is why, during our G20 presidency, we built a consensus on harnessing AI responsibly for good and for all. Today, India leads in AI adoption and techno-legal solutions on data privacy. We are developing AI applications for public good. We have one of the world's largest AI talent pools. India is building its own large language model considering our diversity. We also have a unique public-private partnership model for pooling resources like compute power. It is made available to our startups and researchers at an affordable cost. And India is ready to share its experience and expertise to ensure that AI future is for good and for all. Friends, we are at the dawn of the AI age that will shape the course of humanity. Some people worry about machines becoming superior in intelligence to humans, but no one holds the key to our collective future and shared destiny other than us humans. That sense of responsibility must guide us. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Thank you, Prime Minister. My name is Alessandra Galloni, and I'm Editor-in-Chief of Reuters News Agency, and I'm here this morning just to help things along. So welcome again to the closing plenary session of the AI Action Summit. So for the past day, we have been discussing and debating what is essentially the future of our societies, the future of our children, the future of our planet in the age of artificial intelligence. Our co-hosts, President Macron, Prime Minister Modi, have exhorted all of you to push the limits of your creativity, to push the limits of your imagination during these 2 days. And as we saw from the opening video, delegates have discussed AI's impact on the environment, on labor, on diversity, and on making sure that AI does not get out of control, which is something that technologists are openly worried about. AI has, in the past few years, inspired outbursts of hope, but also of fear. It has attracted an astounding amount of money. In fact, the prospect of another 97 billion just last night, and is setting up epic clashes in business and potentially in geopolitics as well. France and the European Union have pledged a lighter touch in regulation to help AI and investment in AI flourish. But as President Macron said last night at dinner, and I hope you don't mind my quoting you, paradise cannot mean the Wild West. Indeed, there may be no better measure of the stakes for the world than the simple fact of this high-octane guest list here today, in this room. We have a large cross-section of global leaders in government, technology, finance, civil society. You will set and have already shaped the future of this technology. As the editor of a global news organization whose news users are in all of your countries and look to us for fact-based news on all of your companies, I can assure you that the world is watching this event very, very carefully. So, who knows? I mean, maybe it is possible that years from now, people, and perhaps even a conscious AI, will look back upon this meeting as a milestone in humanity's relationship with thinking machines. So with this, I would like to welcome all the panelists of the sessions today to the stage. If you could all come up together, even though you're in 2 different sessions. So I'll call you one by one. Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, please. Mr. Farrell Williams, I saw you earlier. Yes, your seats are on your chairs. Mr. Artist, Mr. Farrell Williams. Ms. Anne Bouvreau, the Special Envoy of the President of the Republic, please. Mr. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, please. Ms. Soo-yeon Choi, Director General of Naver. Saw you last night at dinner. I know you're here. There you are. Mr. Petteri Orpo, Prime Minister of Finland, please. And Ms. Doreen Bogdan-Martin, Secretary General of the International Communications Union. And last but not least, Mr. Faith Birol, Director General of the International Energy Agency. So the first session, which will be moderated by Anne Bouvrot, who has been instrumental, and a big thank you to Anne for setting up this entire event of the past 2 days, will be about unlocking the opportunities of AI. So with that, Anne, over to you.
Working. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This notion of unlocking opportunities and shared progress has been our driver towards the preparation of the summit. Throughout all the preparation, the trips that I have taken, I have heard all over the world everyone telling me we want to be part of this AI revolution. We want to be able to develop our own solutions. We want to be actors. We want to be players. And we are looking forward to come to Paris to be able to have this discussion. So, of course, there is great hope from AI. There's hope for progress in medical research. There's hope for progress in science. There's hope for new climate solutions. There's also hope for progress and new art and creativity, and we will be discussing this. But how can we make sure that these opportunities are unlocked in the short term, now or very soon? We will hear today from our distinguished guests and speakers what they are doing to make this possible, by defining strategies, by listening to the world's experts, by announcing investments, and by a number of actions. We will also, during this session, be talking about an initiative that is unveiled at the summit today, a decentralized partnership to help harness AI's vast potential. But before we get into more detail, it gives me great pleasure to welcome His Excellency, Vice President of the United States of America, J.D. Vance, to come to the podium. It is an honor. It is your first international trip outside of the United States since taking office. We're delighted to have you here.
The kind introduction, and I want to start by thanking President Macron for hosting the event and, of course, for the lovely dinner last night. During the dinner, President Macron looked at me and asked if I would like to speak, and I said, Mr. President, I'm here for the good company and free wine, but I have to earn my keep today. And I, of course, want to thank Prime Minister Modi for being here and for co-hosting the summit, for all of you for participating. And I'm not here this morning to talk about AI safety, which was the title of the conference a couple of years ago. I'm here to talk about AI opportunity. When conferences like this convene to discuss a cutting-edge technology, oftentimes I think our response is to be too self-conscious, too risk-averse. But never have I encountered a breakthrough in tech that so clearly calls us to do precisely the opposite. Now, our administration, the Trump administration, believes that AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And to restrict its development now will not only unfairly benefit incumbents in the space, it would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations. Now, with that in mind, I'd like to make 4 main points today. Number 1, This administration will ensure that American AI technology continues to be the gold standard worldwide, and we are the partner of choice for others, foreign countries, and certainly businesses as they expand their own use of AI. Number two, we believe that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off, and will make every effort to encourage pro-growth AI policies. And I like to see that deregulatory flavor making its way into a lot of the conversations this conference. Number three, we feel very strongly that AI must remain free from ideological bias, and that American AI will not be co-opted into a tool for authoritarian censorship. And finally, number four, the Trump administration will maintain a pro-worker growth path for AI, so it can be a potent tool for job creation in the United States. And I appreciate Prime Minister Modi's point. AI, I really believe, will facilitate and make people more productive. It is not going to replace human beings. It will never replace human beings. And I think too many of the leaders in the AI industry, when they talk about this fear of replacing workers, I think they really miss the point. AI, we believe, is going to make us more productive, more prosperous, and more free. The United States of America is the leader in AI, and our administration plans to keep it that way. The U.S. possesses all components across the full AI stack, including advanced semiconductor design, frontier algorithms, and of course, transformational applications. Now, the computing power this stack requires is integral to advancing AI technology, and to safeguard America's advantage, the Trump administration will ensure that the most powerful AI systems are built in the U.S. with American-designed and manufactured chips. Now, just because we're the leader doesn't mean we want to or need to go it alone, of course. And let me be emphatic about this point. America wants to partner with all of you. And we want to embark on the AI revolution before us with a spirit of openness and collaboration. But to create that kind of trust, we need international regulatory regimes that fosters the creation of AI technology rather than strangles it. And we need our European friends in particular to look to this new frontier with optimism rather than trepidation. Now, the development of cutting-edge AI in the U.S. is no accident. By preserving an open regulatory environment, we've encouraged American innovators to experiment and to make unparalleled R&D investments. Of the $700 billion, give or take, that's estimated to be spent on AI in 2028, over half of it will likely be invested in the United States of America. Now, this administration will not be the one to snuff out the startups and the grad students producing some of the most groundbreaking applications of artificial intelligence. Instead, our laws will keep big tech, little tech, and all other developers on a level playing field. Now, with the President's recent executive order on AI, we're developing an AI action plan that avoids an overly precautionary regulatory regime while ensuring that all Americans benefit from the technology and its transformative potential. Now, we invite your countries to work with us and to follow that model if it makes sense for your nations. However, the Trump administration is troubled by reports that some foreign governments are considering tightening the screws on U.S. tech companies with international footprints. Now, America cannot and will not accept that, and we think it's a terrible mistake, not just for the United States of America, but for your own countries. The U.S. innovators of all sizes already know what it's like to deal with onerous international rules. Many of our most productive tech companies are forced to deal with the EU's Digital Services Act and the massive regulations it created about taking down content and policing so-called misinformation. And of course, we want to ensure the internet is a safe place, but it is one thing to prevent a predator from preying on a child on the internet, and it is something quite different to prevent a grown man or woman from accessing an opinion that the government thinks is misinformation. Meanwhile, for smaller firms, navigating the GDPR means paying endless legal compliance costs or otherwise risking massive fines. Now, for some, the easiest way to avoid the dilemma has been to simply block EU users in the first place. Is this really the future that we want? Ladies and gentlemen, I think the answer for all of us should be no. Now, there's no issue where we worry about more than regulation when it comes to energy. And again, I appreciated the comments of so many at the conference because they recognize that we stand now at the frontier of an AI industry that is hungry for reliable power and high-quality semiconductors. Yet too many of our friends are deindustrializing on the one hand and chasing reliable power out of their nations and off their grids with the other. The AI future is not going to be won by hand-wringing about safety. It will be won by building, from reliable power plants to the manufacturing facilities that can produce the chips of the future. Now, at a personal level, what excites me most about AI is that it is grounded in the real and the physical economy. The success of the sector isn't just a matter of smart people sitting in front of a computer screen and coding. It depends on those who work with their hands, even as robotics will change our factories. It will certainly make our healthcare providers better at treating diseases, but it will also depend on the data produced by those healthcare providers, by those doctors and nurses. I believe it will help us create and store new modes of power in the future, but right now, AI cannot take off unless the world builds the energy infrastructure to support it. Now, it's my view that tech innovation over the last 20 years has often conjured images of smart people staring at computer screens, engineering in the world of bits. But the AI economy will primarily depend on and transform the world of atoms. Now, at this moment, we face the extraordinary prospect of a new industrial revolution, one on par with the invention of the steam engine or Bessemer steel. But it will never come to pass if overregulation deters innovators from taking the risks necessary to advance the ball. Nor will it occur if we allow AI to become dominated by massive players looking to use the tech to censor or control users' thoughts. And I'd ask if you step back a moment and ask yourself, who is most aggressively demanding that we, meaning political leaders gathered here today, do the most aggressive regulation? It is very often the people who already have an incumbent advantage in the market. And when a massive incumbent comes to us asking us for safety regulations, we ought to ask whether that safety regulation is for the benefit of our people or whether it's for the benefit of the incumbent. Now, over the last few years, we've watched as governments, businesses, and nonprofit organizations have advanced unpopular and, I believe, downright ahistorical social agendas through AI. In the U.S., we had AI image generators trying to tell us that George Washington was black, or that America's doughboys in World War I were in fact women. Now, we laugh at this now, and of course it was ridiculous, but we have to remember the lessons from that ridiculous moment. And what we take from it is that the Trump administration will ensure that AI systems developed in America are free from ideological bias and never restrict our citizens' right to free speech. We can trust our people to think, to consume information, to develop their own ideas, and to debate with one another in the open marketplace of ideas. Now, we've also watched as hostile foreign adversaries have weaponized AI software to rewrite history, surveil users, and censor speech. This is hardly new, of course. As they do with other tech, some authoritarian regimes have stolen and used AI to strengthen their military, intelligence, and surveillance capabilities, capture foreign data, and create propaganda to undermine other nations' national security. I want to be clear. This administration will block such efforts, full stop. We will safeguard American AI